my friends, long time ago, in the early 60s, my father used to take us in the evening, a special weekend, by Vera shop to give us the treat of sweet drinks, cake and Chinese cake, buns and parched nuts. Many people were here, buying and drinking, country and western music lasting. Such a beautiful scene. We would then be walking home from happy as ever to Duke Street where we lived, along the dusty bumpy road, passing by the masjid, passing by Buxton and Bobby and Halim, then into a little house at the back where my grandfather used to live, but now he used to live in the front house, or little house. Had a lot of history to go with it. Grandkids were born there. Samir Faisal it had only one bedroom, one living room with a hammock and a little table, a cow mouth for cooking with a fireside inside. My father used to rock me in his arms to sleep, singing all them old-time Indian songs like Chor Gaya Bhalam Mujhe Aag Akhela Chor Gaye. Such a happy time. I still could hear those words coming out of his mouth as I was getting rocked to sleep in those days of past. Beautiful Hague as it was. So good memories of the place. We used to play outside. Pathaan ball cricket with Sydney, Merlin and Conchita used to go with us to catch shrimp by that bridge with bags in. Neighbor John and neighbor Macy used to be living not too far. It was such a nice time. A good old days. My grandfather actually was living in Den Amstel. My father actually was born in Den Amstel. So they were the only fishermen there. They moved from Den Amstel to Hague front. He also was a rice farmer actually. He had a pig back then. No, growing up I remember he was a very friendly guy. My father used to work his all days at air base at Kitson Airfield where the Americans, they had a army base there. He used to work there. And then after that, he came back, got married, and actually he was a fisherman after that. My father and his brother passed away and only the two sisters remain living now. Now, when we left to go into Canal, my Anwar Chacha, he used to live here, and then he actually married a girl right up in the street there, Hakim's sister. They used to call her Gladys. Now they lived with the father for a piece of time, and then they actually came back to live at the same house here. Now in those times, people in this area were very friendly, and the neighbor to the west side of my grandfather was Ali and Zara. I remember they had like a dung tree, and we used to go there because she used to tell us to go pick dungs when we were small. She used to ask even used to give us. I remember one thing, she could make some good
sirni with the rice actually. I remember that. Rice sirni. Remember, but on the left side, no Bobby living. Used to call her, his mother Buxton. So they were very well set rice farmers in Hague back down. They had a lot of coconuts and always a lot of paddy. People were very friendly, as I said, and I mean, we had on the opposite side of us, we had this girl by the name of Merlin. She used to be a teacher, and a Conchita, and also east of. I'm telling Merlin was a very friendly girl. We used to go over, a teacher actually. We used to go over there and play, and she used to take us sometimes by the bridge that we just crossed, and she would be setting those bag scenes like a used rice bag, and they would make it like a funnel, and have it would look like a funnel with a bamboo around it, and they would put some, I think, flour, mash. They would knead the flour and drop it in raw flour and put it at the bottom, and then drop that seine in there and leave it for probably 2-3 hours, and when you go, you just lift it up and there'll be a lot of shrimp in there. I mean, and east of that you had neighbor John, Macy. They were very friendly with my parents. I used to go there myself, and there was one of the, I think, grandson, Sydney, used to come over and play with me. We used to play like bottom ball, and one time we were playing ball and we were using a wood net, which was not advised, but we didn't know, and he was bowling, and he was stronger, and he bowled fast and hit me on my shin, and we never used that ball again. You know, it was very painful. Also living here, I remember I used to rock in the bottom house there, and you know, my cousin Wasila was there, and Fazi. They were my chacha's 2 daughters, but they were small at that time. Also, my father had a very good friend by the name of Red Top. He used to come and visit us a lot. Now, apart from that, there was a lot of tough life here because it wasn't easy. My father used to leave in the night to go. Depends on the tide. He would leave sometimes in the day or sometimes in the night to go with his boat and then Amstel and then go out into the ocean with a sailing. He didn't have engine then, so he was a very skilled. He and my uncle and my grandfather were very skilled men operating one of those sailing boats. I mean, he had these masts and rigs, and we always used to wonder like how they get that thing going, because they'd be moving very fast to come back into shore. Now, also I remember the time in Hague where as kids we used to make a lot of these. We take like coconut branches and make as we say, blow. We the eastern side of my grandfather's, the lot there was empty, no houses there, but the nearest house after that was the guy we used to call Punjabi. We used to call him Punjabi, and we used to pass through that empty lot and walk through to go to Big Boss. Big Boss was a very strong man, I remember, and he was the strongest guy around. I mean, he used to live like a lot of rice bags, you know, like very easily. But we used to pass through his yard to go to the road, like to back his shop or to catch cars if we had to go to Georgetown Road. So it was like a shortcut rather than going from the other side. But Big Boss and my father and my grandfather were very good friends. I remember like he had a lot of papaya plants, and we used to take his the stem from that and make whistle. You know, you cut the stem at like somewhere in the middle, and then you're able to blow it, and it will make sound. So we used to do that there. I mean, we had some very nice times. I mean, people were very friendly here. We used to go also by Bobby sometimes, and Bobby used to have fun like scaring me. He used to like pretend like he's gonna like take my pants down, you know, and I'd be running and getting away. He was a funny guy. Also, he was a cricketer. He used to play cricket right at the back of his house, had a cricket ground. But I mean, water was a problem. You had to go, people had to go like up the street there by Saltfish. You had a guy named Saltfish. You have Sarah, who had like two daughters, Dolly and Baby. I remember them. I used to play with them. They used to come by my parents to play with me. I think Baby was about my age. I probably was a little bigger than her. But I know Dolly was bigger than me, so those names I remember. And then we had Saltfish, another bigger guy who used to live right there. And the pipe was right in front there on the right side. And also going, if you're walking towards the seawall, on the right side, you have a lot of houses now, but before time they were, I don't think there was any house except the Punjabi house or one more house. But you had the guy Williams. His house was from the main road, but he used to plant a big garden in his backyard. He used to give us a lot of his vegetables like bhaji and things like that. We also used to go by his house he used to work like with the police, and he had like a projector there, so he used to like give us like some movies. He would have them and showing them there, I remember. But unfortunately for him, he had a fight with Babsy, and the police guys at the denouncing station told him that Babsy died, and he got scared, escaped and ran towards CI. But before you reach CI, there's like, before you reach the burial ground, actually there was like a big empty spot like halfway from Hague Bagdam Road to the cemetery, like in the middle part there on the left side. He had like a big open lot, and there was a tree. He hung himself there. Now, I was very sad because I knew the guy. He was very friendly to me. He was a brilliant. I mean, those times there was no difference between black and Indian. People didn't know. Everybody was neighbor. They used to say neighbor, neighbor, and that's how it was. I remember neighbor John, they used to make some good cakes and they used to give us. You know, they used to help my mother. They used to give them a lot of items actually. Because we were very poor, you know, fishermen are not rich guys in that time, because you were not able to catch fishes every time. Some days you go and they don't get much. You know. It all depends on the ocean, and they didn't have like a engine, you know, to go to further out. So the whole area was very nice. You had always have a sea breeze coming over there from the seawall, and you're hearing the waves splashing. That was the seawall. But if you look on the ocean there, you could see the brown water. I remember we used to look there to see if my father was coming in, because we used to walk from home all the way to the north, just cook for me and my mom and my brother sometimes, and we'll be waiting for him, or sometimes he'll be already there. But he had a lot of friends at Denham still, because he was from Denham still, and many of the young guys used to go and help him, like when the water was low tide, they would help him like push his boat and bring it in from outside. Actually, sometimes, you know, the tide is low and these guys will be helping him. My father would be, you know, rewarding him with some fish and things like that. He actually, when he came there, when he comes with his load, once it's discharged, these guys also used to help him take out his seine and everything and spread it out. So by the time he came out with the shrimp, he had like and blow his shell. He had like a shell. He used to blow it in a special way many people would come actually from Den Amstel and ready to buy his shrimp and fish. And he'll be selling, you know, most times he wouldn't even like collect the money because he knows everybody, he'll collect it later. They don't have money. And there was a watch house. I think McGinn's was the watchman at that time. And there was a crawl space under that watch house, and he actually had enclosed a little place there to put all his fishing gear underneath there, like seine, tar, whatever, because you know those seines had to be tar. You had to tar them at like intervals to keep them good, and also you know you had to patch them because the twines would be ripping. They had he had like the Chinese seines with a big mouth like a funnel, and it gets smaller and smaller to the tail. So they would be setting that kind of seine, and in the bag that's at the bottom you would have all the shrimp and fish get caught inside. Now I remember some beautiful times that then I'm still cocoa there. You know, as a small boy, like one time you had this guy who was riding his bicycle, and I was trying to get away from him, and he was trying to get away from me, and it was like funny. I was going left and he was going left, and then I was going right and he was going right. So eventually he stopped. I mean, the people there used to be very friendly. Some of them used to ice me up and put me on their shoulders and play with me actually. As I said, in those times nobody didn't know any difference between races. It's only during the disturbances of the 1960s that has created such a terrible mess in the country that it still lives on to this day in some parts. You know, some people are prejudiced against each race. So what I'm telling you, when I was growing up, I cannot remember that, you know, until we had to move out. The yard of where my grandfather was living, my father was here. I actually spent part of my life right here. And the house was taken down, and now you don't have anything here. It's all vacant. There's nothing here. The little house used to be right here. The little house was right here. And it had a garden here. You have the coconut tree in front. Okay, this are oh, new one.
So I know the farm in the other time. This was the middle tree. You had the next one, back so this one. When we took the one for giving the subject a space, get away. And this one left, and the mango tree there.
Yeah, I know the mango tree.
Get calva tree and so back there, you know that?
Yeah, the calva tree.
It's not a waste time, just take them out. To get space, no? Plant the garden there.
You're not going to coconut tree now?
Yeah, we plant little one. You want a corner there.
Okay.
One over corner there, right?
Oh, that big one there. Oh, you get me some.
Plant them 18-month one.
Oh, so you go beer fast?
Yeah, very fast.
Oh boy. So this tree here by more than me.
Yeah,
Let me little this tree in a beer. Dome roaded.
We can barely remember, right? We can barely remember when that next house is here.
Yeah.
We can barely remember the house and when he come down. We will have another side.
Me know the house good. I've been living there.
Yeah.
Thank God, eh? So this is somebody old.
This is the house post, right?
The original.
The house is different.
Wow.
He's strong yet. Take on put on a fence or something.
The man is make strong thing then, right?
Long time.
What's up?
Piece of steel inside the middle, right?
Yeah.
You be thrown down and you dump them and build them here.
Still not broke. Shit, boy, that was long ago and it makes such strong thing. Okay, this was the step you come down and you got on the top there. You remember?
That was the step, right? That was there.
And then he had the guinea tree there.
Right.
Well, the place got a new look now.
Yeah, a lot of, you know what, you have to keep in the season when you're living. You put a banana on. Plant the mountain, you get something to grow. I used to walk, you know. I used to walk right through.
On top there.
Yeah, I used to walk there. Just careful.